Just a video that I don't want to do, really, realistically. 90 years since Brighton last beat us. They've never beaten us in the Premier League. They've never been in front against Chelsea in the Premier League, ever. Ever. And yet the game that we come to the Amex with their manager, their old fucking goon of a player as well. I woke up, honestly, Friday morning and thought, I'm not doing a video. I'm not doing a preview video on my own channel. I didn't do a video on the channel because I could come out with all the stats, all the facts that you could possibly need, like I do on the streams, of which I still didn't really prep for in actuality, because if you have been a Chelsea fan long enough, you would have known, you would have gone into this game. Maybe you have this false sense of, promise or confidence coming into this game, thinking, listen, Brighton haven't won a game in fucking how long? Since the last time Graham Potter was in charge for them. This new geezer that's in charge of them hasn't won a game for them at all. Surely we can't lose today. And lo and behold, what's happened? Not only have we predictably, just stereotypically, Charity FC at its finest, come out here with just the biggest shit show of a fucking performance you've ever seen. Graham Potter seemingly doesn't have a fucking Scooby what he's doing against his old club. They seem to know everything about us. And just, I woke up, like I was saying on Friday, thinking I can't be asked to do a video for it. I'm not doing any prep. I'm not doing anything like this. Because I knew, and I know that was a little bit of the pessimist in me, but I knew we would fail to get a result here today. Whether we lost, whether we drew, I knew we weren't going to win. I just knew we weren't going to win. And as I was saying, if you've been a Chelsea fan long enough, when there's certain circumstances that come up, before the game started, the commentator said, Chelsea haven't lost against Brighton in 90 years. 90. There's the first seed. They've never beaten us in the Premier League. There's the second seed. They've never been in front in a Premier League match against Chelsea ever. There's another seed. Graham Potter returns to the Amex. You know, he's unbeaten in his whole time at Chelsea in 9 games. With Cucurella as well, alongside him. There's another seed. Come there. Not only do we lose, but we get embarrassed. We get absolutely battered. And whether or not you think that the score reflects the performance, I think it does. I don't even think we deserved the goal, to be honest with you. A brilliant goal nonetheless, but so overshadowed by just the fucking just god-awful performance from the team today. Let's just get into the score ratings, of which I feel some may be harsh, some might be not harsh enough. I feel like Kepa has been, I don't know why any of these are in green, by the way. I feel like Kepa, I've seen his rating all over the place, and he's been given like a 2 or a 3. He went off injured. Conceding 2 own goals is not his fault. The Ruben Loftus-Cheek own goal, just ridiculous. The Chalobah one, what is he supposed to do? He's had better games, yes. He's had worse games, for sure. But for him to be our worst rated player in and amongst some of the goons that are on the pitch here today is ridiculous. A 4 for him, I think, and quite possibly the lowest rating I've given on this channel since I've started doing the player ratings. And the last 2 games I didn't give any ratings whatsoever because I thought the Manchester United game, we almost won the game. I was so dejected, I couldn't be asked to do it. And as many of you probably felt as well, like it's hard because 1 minute we're winning, the next minute we've drawn in the last second of the game. I feel like it was unfair to give a fair reflection of the ratings on that. So there's that. And then the Salzburg game, it was just, we won. It was what it was. But for this game, the ratings need to come back out. A 4 for Kepa. I feel like you could argue a 3 because in a plethora of really good performances from him, it's his worst performance, and by no fault of his own overall because of the stupid mainly these three, not to blame too much, but these lot, fuck me, just awful today. Chalobah, a 2. And goodness me, just his first defeat as a starting player in his Chelsea career, and a stinker overall from him. An own goal, which makes his rating even lower, which is why it's a 2. And we've lost in such a way that I think that the ratings have to be harsh. They have to be harsh. I've always said, like, you know, I'm going to give the ratings as a fair reflection, but in a game like this, that they need to be harsh. They need to be harsh. Chalobah, he's lost his first game under Chelsea as a starting player, and he's done it in quite a fashion, quite a style, quite a way to lose that glorious stat that you had, son. Just awful. Just absolutely dreadful. Thiago Silva, I've given a 4. Probably the better defender out of the back 3, but, you know, he made 2 great clearances off the line within, like, what was it, the first 5 minutes. Very, very quickly followed by a mistake from him, a poor first touch that led to their first goal. And then just a shit show after that, realistically. I feel like a 4 might be generous. And for a player that never has a bad game for us, I feel like was probably one of the worst games he's ever played for us, and not that he had an overwhelmingly poor performance, but it just was notable in consistency. In comparison to recent games for Thiago Silva, it was such a bad game for everyone as a whole. Cucurella, a 3 for him. I feel like could easily be a 2 for him. Poor at right centre back, just cannot defend when it comes to being in that position. And partly to blame is Raheem Sterling down that left-hand side. I'd said right centre-back. I meant left centre-back. My bad. And subbed off again. Again, he's been substituted for was it for Chilwell? I can't remember. But still, just poor. Just really poor. Booed throughout the game, which I felt was a bit weird, a bit harsh on him, you know. But we move. Listen, a 4, Pulisic. Just what in the fuck? What the hell does Pulisic need to do? I've not even written anything down for him. Just complains all the time when he's not playing consistently, and now he's played consistently. And come on, you cannot say that he's been good ever in the last few games, or when he has come on as a well, you can say, actually, I take that back. When he's come on as a sub, he's the best he is. He's the best he is as a super sub. Is he too good to be a sub or a super sub for a team like Chelsea? Probably, yes. Does he play better as a substitute player for Chelsea? 100%, 100%. And just fuck. Why are we playing at wing back? Sterling and Pulisic as wing back when you've got Azpilicueta and Chilwell both on the bench in a game like this. Did we need to be so attacking? Did it seem like we were so attacking? No, it didn't. No, it didn't. We had our backs against the wall the entire fucking game. So poor. So poor. Well, you've already seen that, but I've given Sterling a 3. Can the man dribble past a player that he's coming one-on-one with? Ever? Can he do it? No. He hasn't done it in so long. So long. He has legitimately been off form for quite some time now. Great start for Chelsea, but overall has been poor. Pointless, by the way. Him being on the wing, in wing back position, if he does not track back at all. Alonso, the glorious Marcos Alonso. How much grief did he get for being slow tracking back? And I know Sterling's not a defensive player, but what in the fuck is the point of playing him at left centre-back if he's not going to track back? I don't understand. I don't understand why on earth he'd be in that position if he's not there to track back, to defend. But what's the point? What is the purpose of having a player there that once he tracks back, and I go back to Cucurella, he leaves everything down that left-hand side, on the right-hand side for Brighton, but on our left-hand side. What is the point? if he's just going to leave Cucurella in no man's land, and we know, God knows, he can't defend. Yeah, so far, at least. It doesn't look like he can defend whatsoever. I digress. I'm going to get so much grief for my ratings on this, but I feel like none of these are fair reflections. Some might be overdone, some might be underdone. It's just how I see. And in the heat of the moment, with the result we've just got as well, it's so hard to give these. And you've seen Kovacic with a 3. Ruben Loftus-Cheek could easily be a 3 as well because his stupid own goal. Kovacic, I feel like was a 3. They just ran through the midfield. I can't really, for the life of me, tell you where he was today. The centre mid was just so easy for Brighton to break down, and Trossard, once the ball was played out wide and he was on the run, it was just game over so many times. It could have been more. Could have been more than 4. It really could. It really genuinely could. Loftus-Cheek, I think throughout the second half started to improve. But overall, just so poor, and the own goal just put the nail in the coffin. It really did. The front 3 are just they're 5.5s all around. I felt Gallagher really didn't have too bad of a game. I think he's definitely had worse. Mount, I would argue, and many people, and I don't have an agenda with Mason Mount. I don't have one against him. That's for fucking sure. But in the scheme of the rest of the team, when we had our backs against the wall so much so, I feel like the front 3 probably played the best out of everyone. In a game where you're so far down, realistically, why wouldn't you bring Hutchinson on, or Broja on, or whoever? Who else did we bring on? We brought Chilwell on, probably too late, 64th minute. Broja comes on the 79th minute. What's the fucking point at that time? It's all too little, too late. Listen, what was the score? What was the score in? It was the 42nd minute. We're 3-0 down at half time, and our first substitution, apart from Kepa Arrizabalaga in the 46th minute, was when the 64th minute for Chilwell for the defensive fucking substitution. You brought Aubameyang on as well. Arguably, that's an attacking thing, but he's been out of form lately. Sterling, rightfully so, has been taken off. And then you've got Broja coming on in the 80th minute, as well as Ziyech, who doesn't want to be at the club. He doesn't want to play for Chelsea. He's got nothing to give for the club whatsoever. And you think that's a good player to bring on when you've got Hutchinson, who, albeit, it's his birthday, and he's the adrenaline for him is going to be through the roof. I'm just rambling at this point. Like, it's fucking pointless. I'm sick of it. Like, this loss has been coming. The loss has been coming. The bad results. I mean, not the bad results. The bad result was going to come. We've won. We've drawn. We've had. He's undefeated in the first 9 games. But when we lose, it was always going to be a stinker. And with Brighton, the team to do it, it couldn't have been any more obvious. Looking back at it now, hindsight. But I already knew it was going to fucking happen. Just an absolute shocker from everyone. And realistically, the lowest rated person on that field is Graham Potter. I would give him a 1. Formation, tactically, substitution-wise, just everything. Couldn't have been more obvious. And again, right wing-back, left wing-back, having 2 attacking players in those positions when you've got Azpilicueta and Chilwell, or one or the other. Why start Pulisic and Sterling at wing-back role? I've got no idea. But before I start tying myself in knots and just rambling for the sake of it, we move. We've got Zagreb, where we can rest players. Then we've got Arsenal, then City, then Newcastle. We've got some big games coming up. And apart from Zagreb, if you're talking domestically, this was the easiest out of the bunch of them. So, my name's Harry. No doubt you'll let me know in the comments how much of a shit show I've had in this, and it would only make up for the shit show that Chelsea have had today. So there we go. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel coming up. And the player ratings continue. My name is Harry. Have a good one. Up the Chelsea and peace.